Hello, back at your favourite angle, the most obnoxious angle I could possibly create. What a new e-cig. Probably a bad choice. I can feel the nicotine addiction developing as we speak. Don't think I'm going to stop this time either. Pretty sure I'm going to stick with it till the end. Speaking to somebody at work about it, and they were like, you know what, you don't know what that does to you, and it's like, I don't give a fuck. You know, you smoke coffin nails, you know what those do. Yeah, maybe in 30 years I'll get Alzheimer's or something, but better Alzheimer's than a giant fucking tumour the size of a cantaloupe. Anyway, that's the angle addressed, that's the e-cig addressed. The tie, fuck you, I like wearing ties. But that's not what we're here for. What we're here for is another rant or ramble. I figure I may as well make as many of these as I possibly can while I feel up to it, because God knows how long that'll last. So, nostalgia. There's a tremendous irony in me talking about nostalgia, seeing as if you've ever spoken to me in your life, you know that I'm basically the ghost of 1999. I never really moved beyond the 90s. Maybe there's a bit of me lingering somewhere in the early 2000s, but not much, not much. And yet nostalgia, it seems to me more and more, is like a disease. It's something that infects people and it stops them from moving on. We're all sort of trapped in nostalgia to a degree. Everybody wants a perfect world, but the perfect world seems to be something that's come before. That one moment, that one golden summer where everybody treated them just right, you know. I was speaking to my nan about this earlier. I went to go see my nan, and she was telling me that the best time to be alive was the 1950s. And because me and my nan have basically the same politics, I'm agreeing with her, of course I am. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Households were households, everybody knew their role. You were happy to be a homemaker, and the man was happy to be a provider, and everything worked, and you raised 3 kids, and guess what? They weren't too fucked up. It all sort of worked out. But then she starts showing me photographs, and I think to myself, fucking hell, 1950s looking conscionably boring. I'm looking at the women as well, and all these pictures of 1950s girls, and I'm like, I would not fuck one of these. I mean, you know, I don't get laid at all. At all. But, so for me to turn a chick down, or even the idea of a chick, to not entertain the idea of sex with a woman is, you know that there's something up. And yeah, I'm looking at these women in the 1950s with their curled hair and their sort of slightly chubbier faces, and I'm thinking, ugh, frocks, not a good look, not a good look at all. Now, this nostalgia as a disease thing is a societal disease, as some sort of mental disorder, and the idolatry of things that have come before. There are some prerequisites. I mean, we all know that I love retro games, I love the jankiness factor, I'm very vocal on this point. And there are other people who love retro games too. To reference Six of Hearts again, he said in a video of Quake that he doesn't see Quake as a retro game. He sees it as something that's just as relevant now as it was then. And you know what, he's right. Art and physical things in general are timeless, I feel. There's a timelessness about them. All of them, everything. Material things, no matter what they are. All that changes is people's perception of them. For instance, I'm an ugly man. I think I'm an ugly man. You think I'm an ugly man. I've got a disgusting complexion, for instance. This is just, you know, it is the case. I've got bad skin. However, pre-Shakespeare, pustules and pus and boils and sores and all that stuff, that wasn't looked upon as something malevolent or disgusting. That was just considered a natural thing. It wasn't something to remark upon. People didn't even notice it. It didn't interfere with anybody's socialising or their sexual availability or anything of the sort. You can thank Shakespeare for that. Shakespeare was the one who associated these things with unsavoury temperaments. That's all he's doing, and he's shaped the perception of what people like me look like for the last 500 years and probably for another 500. Who knows? But you can see it in things like the fat acceptance movement as well. You know, suddenly the left are trying to purvey this idea that despite the fact that being overweight and obese has terrible health connotations, despite that, they want you to view overweight people as being equally, if not more, sexually desirable than their slender counterparts. And you know what? They'll probably get what they want. They will probably get what they want. So you see what I mean about physical things and art being timeless and it just being perception. You know, just because something's less graphically advanced doesn't mean that it doesn't have a valid aesthetic. So, with that prerequisite out of the way, what's the issue with nostalgia? Well, the issue is that it kills creativity. It kills originality. It's one of my favourite things to say about something is that it's lazy. It's lazy thinking. What it means is that perfection has already been achieved, and it's only a deviation from the rule that prevents it from reaping further dividends. And I'm sorry, that's bollocks. It's defeatist. It stops you from aspiring to things. It stops you from wanting more. It stops you from manifesting things. Oh shit, did I just snap my fingers? Fucking hell, I am so sorry. I mean, you know, cry as I might, the conservatism of the 60s and the 70s and the 50s and the 40s, that's gone. And if you're in the reactor sphere, you've probably heard the line of discussion that goes something like, we can't go back to the past, we have to reinvent morality anew, the right has to rise again as something different, in a different form. The crisis of masculinity, you know, men no longer work in factories, we no longer manufacture things in the Western world. There is no need for strong fuckers, there is no need for big fuckers. It is only vanity that gets people to pick up the £20 dumbbell every day of their lives. It's only vanity that gets them to do 400 push-ups before work. Vanity and the desire to get laid, which is a very powerful impulse. It's a very powerful drive. Not one that I've harnessed, but, you know, so people say. Personally, I feel like masculinity is quite naturally moving towards less of a physical, authoritarian, prowess-based thing in terms of just being able to defend and being able to fight and to build. And it's becoming more subtle, it's becoming more artisanal. In as much as, what do teenage boys like to do? They like to get out their guitars, they like to make music, they like to paint things, they like to draw things. You know, they're not working with wood, they're working with textures and sounds and things that aren't necessarily actualized in 3D space. They're going into a different realm of creation. You know, it's no longer about what's in front of you, it's about what you're seeing in your mind's eye, what you're building there. So, yeah. Is nostalgia going to bring us to that point? Was there ever a point in history when art was more venerated than it is now? When it provided more comfort for people? I don't think there was. I mean, if you look at our legacy, our cultural legacy, what is it? It's architecture, it's sciences, it's written books, it's thinking, yes, but and to a degree it's music, and to a degree it's art, but that was really the exclusive realm of the sons of wealthy patrons, of the sons of wealthy people, of the upper class. It didn't used to be that the underclass could get their hands on the tools that were needed, and the information that was needed to create beautiful things. Yeah. But now we can. I can pirate software right fucking now that will enable me to write the most grandiose symphonies if I had the drive and the desire to do it, which I don't. So yeah, you know, I guess what this is it's a plea. it's a plea for you to build things of your own. It's a plea for you to, dare I say, think outside the box. I mean, I know it's a terribly boring statement. It's a sort of statement that gets said in boardrooms and boring fucking offices where they do Microsoft presentations about corporate branding and all that bollocks, but it does bear saying that. And, you know, thinking outside the box, what does that mean? It means coming up with weird shit. It means coming up with things that other people are uncomfortable with. Because if they're uncomfortable with something, it probably means that they don't have a mental precedent for how to react to it, which means it's probably original, which means it's probably worth pursuing. You know, that's what I hold to. I go in for the weirdness. Something that's not been done before. And people are hostile about it. They get very hostile about it. You know, I dress strangely, and consequently people call me a cunt. You know, this is just something that happens. It's something that's always happened. I like to dress in a certain way. I like to dress in a sort of Yami Yugi kind of thing, with the dress shirts and the tie and the flared jacket and shit. And there isn't a precedent for that. The only time that was ever really done before was when Oscar Wilde was going around London trying to have sex with underage boys. That was the last time somebody wore a flared jacket and was recognised for it. So yeah, nostalgia. Probably not good for us.